We shall uncover the magic today of your unique soul's blueprint, of your unique frequency. The frequency that when you resonate with it, you just feel good. You just feel in alignment. You just feel like, yes, this is me. This is why I'm here. And you're just overflowing. And I brought a simple tool with me today to show you how this works. Not sure if you recognize this, but this is a tuning fork. They use this to calibrate instruments. And our body, our mind, and you could even say our spirit, in a sense, is also an instrument. Now, this instrument has been a little bit distorted or polluted by all the ideas we picked up on in this world. But that is not a problem. We can just clean it up and make sure that we become pristine instruments again, playing only the tune of our soul. And your X within IMX, the X pointing to your true soul signature, that frequency, that song, that vibration, that expression that just wants to move through you. We can symbolize this as a tuning fork. And this tuning fork already rests at the center of your being. And sometimes it gets like lightly touched, sometimes by accident, sometimes consciously. And in those moments, you just feel bliss, you just feel good. It's like the clouds of the dark clouds are opening and the sun finally comes through again. A little bit droplets of the taste of heaven, of your true nature. But we do not want to live with these crumbs. We want the floodgates to open and for heaven to fully express all its glory through us. So in order to do that, we need to become more conscious that we actually have this X. We actually have a soul signature, a unique tuning fork inside of us that sends out beautiful, healing, powerful, and transformative vibrations into this collective. And that is why you came here. But in order to make sure that these vibrations coming from your heart, from your soul, from your X, become more powerful and sort of pervade more through the ripples of the old programming. And even a beautiful analogy with this is that I heard that when you're playing a guitar and when you have played this guitar a certain type of music for a long while, let's say, not that well versed in musical terms, but let's say you played rock with it for a long time with this guitar, but then all of a sudden you want to change genre and you're now playing, I want to say jazz, but I don't even know, I don't think you play that on the piano. Let's just say reggae or something, which is like a totally opposite vibration or genre, a little bit to rock. And then the vibrations that have been sort of embodied in the guitar, infused into the guitar, into the material, it takes a while for the new tune to play reggae in order for the guitar, the instrument, to also transform and adapt to the new frequency, the new vibrations. And the same goes for us humans. We're so used to suffering and anxiety and feeling unworthy and all of these things, that all of a sudden when we start playing a new tune, which is holistic, loving, sharing, free, confident, then it takes a while for our body, for our system to get used to it. But this is an important step, that you do not give up on this new version, on this new frequency, on this new radio that you want to play. Even if you have been used to and your body is craving for whatever, the old music, the rock, but you just don't resonate with that anymore. You want a new tune. You want a new baseline for your reality, which is based on something that is in integrity with who you really are. And so you have to go through that little bit of that hump of like reprogramming your body or your instrument to be aligned with this new vibration. So to get back to the tuning fork, to your X, to your heart, I always use many different words, but they always point back to the same thing, your essence, that which feels true, that which resonates, that which is truly exciting, and that is the reason why you came here, like your true intent, your true desire. And so, just like the awareness is always there, your X, your heart, is also always there. It's like the North Star that even when you can't see it, even when there are clouds or when there's daylight, it's still there. The star didn't disappear. It's still resting at the heart of your being, patiently waiting for you to shift your attention from all of these objects outside of you, to take that attention off of that and to place it on your heart. And every time you place your attention on your X, on your essence, on your heart, it automatically activates it a little bit. That is all that you basically have to do, is to navigate, orientate your awareness time and time again, to discipline your awareness, that I amness, that quality of paying attention, of being able to focus, that you bring that back to the vibration of your choosing. Because what you pay attention to, where energy flows, what was it again? I don't know exactly, but I think you get what I mean. Whatever you pay attention to, whatever then you slowly become. Because what you are aware of, you're creating more of. Where attention goes, energy flows. I think that was the original quote. And so we are very sloppy with our attention. We pay attention, and this is also not necessarily rigged in our favor, but then again, it's what makes the game exciting. Excuse me, my storage was full, so I had to delete some old videos. But back to my point, that society or the game seems to be not necessarily rigged in our favor, because within society there's so many flashing lights, so many distractions, which make our attention span very weak. We're very scattered, very distracted throughout the day. Let me do this, not being able to focus, to be present, to really gather your will, gather your presence, and hone it in on one specific thing. It's really difficult for us humans. So it requires training. It requires discipline. It requires the will to time and time again return to what you want to create, what you want to see more of, what you actually want to manifest into creation. Not unconsciously be reacting like a pinball going through all of these things, but consciously directing your reality. And at the same time having that faith that is possible, and that by disciplining your focus, your awareness, you can create your reality. And so the fundamentals, the basics are so simple, right? It's so simple. Like, okay, all that we have to do is pay attention to what is true. Now, we do then have to be like subtle in our awareness, like what is actually true, not just by the concepts from our mind, like, oh, this is true, or that is true, or I believe in this, or I believe in that. Like, no, what truly constitutes truth? In order for something to be true, it has to be always the case. If it's something that comes, that goes, it's not true. And a lot of things that we focus on, they come and they go. But there's one thing that always remains, something that is foundational to any experience, and that is that you are existence. Existence has to be there for anything to be there at all. So this is what you can rely upon as true. That's why I always point back to the direct recognition, not just the thought I am, but the direct recognition. Apparently I didn't delete enough. So I'm back again, back to the point that has never left regarding if the video appears or disappears, is the recognition that you are. Without any additions, like pure, naked, direct recognition that you exist. This is true. You can rely on this. It's always the case. This is what is real, or at least when you begin to more and more be aware of what is actually real. But then also, to make it a little bit more tangible, what is also true in my experience is what we can measure through resonance. The more something resonates, like holistically feels good, the more that it is true. And you need to develop a sense for this so that you have like a truthometer, barometer of, okay, how true is this for me? But the thing is with this truth, like this can shift. It's not absolutely true, like the fact that you are. It's more relatively true, so more relatively important, but eventually even this disappears. So even don't be attached to this. Even though you want to stay as true as you can, your X is sort of always in flux. Like sometimes this resonates, sometimes that resonates. And this requires you to be attentive and to be present moment by moment in order to navigate like, okay, what truly resonates. But overall, throughout your incarnation, it will be very stable. There is like a seed, a blueprint that is consistent, that doesn't change, that you can always rely upon as the North Star in your sky. So, to summarize this video, I notice I always say summarize this video and then I go on another tangent. So forgive me if I do. But the basics of life and of creating your reality is learning to discipline, focus your attention on that which you desire. And this is something you have to train. And you need to have faith in that it's possible for you to time and time direct your attention back to either I am, the direct recognition that you exist, that you are, undeniably so, but also the more playful aspect. This is like the self-realization aspect, the I am. But the X is more the self-actualization aspect, that is more acting on what resonates and what feels true to you. And you do this by becoming aware of this core frequency, noticing it's always already inside of you, pristine and pure. And all that you have to do is just awaken your attention to it. Become more aware of it. And in order to do that, you have to see that this is more important than anything else. Because our attention always naturally goes to where we see the most value. And usually we see value in distractions, it's not facing ourselves, not looking at our shadows. But the more you focus on this inner light, on this inner frequency, the more it lights up your shadows as well. And you can illuminate your shadows, your distortions, your distractions through this inner light. And so then the game is simple. All that you have to do is stay true, pay attention to what resonates and what is actually true on a deeper level. And this is fun. This is because it's like a challenge, because constantly you're being tested, bombarded with distractions, leaving you off the track of who you truly are, keeping you from truly attracting what you want through all of these distractions. So these are sort of the shadow player. It's your own ego. It's your own shadows trying to lure you back into sleepiness instead of being awake and prioritizing making a stand for what is true. And just ask yourself, if by the end of the life, is it not most important that you have honored what was true for you, what actually resonated, that you lived a life that was true to you and that you gave that your all, regardless of any outcomes? That's not the point. To me, honor is acting on this inner knowing, on this inner frequency to the best of your ability. This is integrity. And this is all that you need. And it can be so exciting to play this game all in, to when you finally make the decision to focus, to pay attention on your X, until that is a baseline, until that is like a foundation to anything that you do. It's like a sword that you wield all the time, or an instrument that you're able to play at least the tunes of all the time, whatever imagery resonates for you. But you're just true and true through. You can even deepen in this. And this then becomes an exciting game, an exciting challenge. Like throughout this valley of the shadow of death, my soul will still comfort me. my will and my faith, using your will and your faith to justice your life, to do justice to your life and this possibility. It's difficult to put into words how exciting life can truly be once you are devoted to something true, something that resonates, something greater than yourself. Because this frequency, this heart essence, it is a gift for the world. So even if you don't care about it yourself, the more that you light this up, the more true you become to yourself, and you will notice this. The more everything around you, including nature, the house, your family, your friends, will be uplifted. In this way, the impersonal life of serving through this essence, serving through this frequency is the most fulfilling thing that you can do. And it's the most generous thing you can do. And because there's only one, you're only giving to yourself. All right, my friends, I would love to end this video so that it's practical, that you can actually feel it within yourself. To close your eyes and to imagine that at the center of your being rests a flame or a tuning fork or something else that comes to mind right now, maybe a light bulb or a fire. And I want you to imagine that through just by paying attention to it, focusing on it, it naturally starts to illuminate more. The vibration opens, it becomes wider, it becomes freer, it becomes more powerful. And even if you might get sidetracked or there's other thoughts, you still have the free will, the power to decide where you want to place your attention. And if you can discipline your attention to bring it time and time back again to your heart, to your soul, which is always calling your name, this flame, this heart, this instrument, this tuning fork is calling you back home. Please pay attention to me. I am that which is true. I am that which resonates. I am that which all the beautiful things in your life come from. They come from me, this impersonal self, God, source, whatever you want to call it. And you're connected to this through your ex, through this resonance, through this flame. So fan this flame, fan this heart, pay attention to this instrument, this tuning fork, and amp it up until it's all that you know, until it's all that you see. Spend some time with this would be my recommendation today. To just be in silence and to just be present with your own heart, your own being. And to allow that to be naturally purified, the more that you pay attention to it, the more that all the shadows and the fears and the human doubts about your purpose and your calling and the light slowly start to fade away, like snow in front of the sun. And there will be a day, my friend, when you will stand naked and pure and in full conviction of your own love and your own light, and nothing will ever be able to stop you again. Be unstoppable, my friend. Be unapologetically you. Be yourself. Be I am X. I'll see you in the next video, my friend. As always, stay true.